Are you a nurturer and have somehow minimized your ability to lead as a result of your nurturing spirit? If so, I want to give you 3 clues to identify if you might be a nurturer and a leader. You are a nurturer if you are in constant advocacy and thought about the underdog, the underserved, the vulnerable populations, and that includes children. So, do you always feel like you have to protect a child, whether they be yours or whether it be just a stranger's child that you might feel might be in danger? Do you have that bone to protect children? What about the elderly? Another vulnerable population? Do you feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility to care for an elder that might be in distress, that might be being abused? Do you have a desire, something in your heart that causes you to feel like you have to protect those who may have undesirable professions, such as those who might be caught up in prostitution? Do you somehow feel connected and obligated to protect and to ensure that even those who are in such questionable lifestyles and circumstances feel as though they have a connection to someone, and that someone is you? If you feel that way, then that might be a clue that you are a nurturer and a leader. A second clue: do you find that people who are in your space, right? Like, have people, and I'm not talking about a person, but groups of people who don't know one another over an extended period of time, do people often tell you, "Wow, you're easy to talk to"? Or, "Have you ever considered being a counselor? Have you ever considered being a therapist?" Have people said to you, "I feel comfortable, I feel safe when I'm in your space"? Have folks said to you, "You are a vault"? In other words, when I share something with you, it stays with you. Have people expressed that to you somewhere along the line? And if you're struggling to find someone who has said that, then maybe this doesn't apply. But if you can look at the span of however old you might be, and look at a span of time, and can identify individuals or entities, groups of people, a person here or there, and they all kind of say the same thing, then maybe you are a nurturer and a leader. And then lastly, and I used to chuckle at this before I had my first child, made it very clear. I want to. She could not have been one. She could not have been one. And I can recall there was a situation that had occurred, and the adults in the environment knew that there was conflict between me and a certain individual. And this certain individual was known for causing ruckus and mayhem, and um, that was what they were known for, at least at that time in my life. And I can recall being around an elderly woman, and she looked at, now my kid was so young, and maybe this example doesn't quite doesn't maybe it was, one could argue that it was coincidental, but the person had walked by, and my baby at the time cut her eye in a way towards this person that the elderly woman in the space was like, she said, "What you telling that baby?" And clearly I wasn't telling her anything, but babies babies can pick up on energy just like animals can. So if you are someone who has a tendency to that children and animals gravitate towards you, they sense your peace, they sense your calmness. Conversely, if they repel you when you are in their space and they're like, "I don't want to, what, something ain't right," they're crying if they're babies, or they're kind of looking at you in this strange way if they're more of an adolescent age child, or the animal either attacks you, or they don't want to the animal doesn't want to have anything to do with you, they run the other way, then maybe you're not. But if you are attracting children and animals in that way, then perhaps you are a nurturer. Being a nurturer is a leadership quality that I think in certain environments has been minimized, and it is a superpower. And don't let anybody take that from you. If that's who you are, you use that as the leader that you are, that empathetic, caring, compassionate leader. And you can be a nurturer and also have boundaries. You can be a nurturer and also be very concise about what it is that you feel, where you're going, what you're doing, how you're doing it. It doesn't constitute weakness because you have a nurturing bone in your body. Now, beware. Now, this was not supposed to be a part of the video, but it's just coming to me, so I'm flowing with it. When you are a nurturer naturally, and a leader, right? There are times where people will try you because you are loving and patient, and you have this disposition that just wants to love and help and support and show up and fix and adapt to whatever the circumstances might be for the purposes of helping and nurturing and loving that individual. And there will be folks that will try you, and in love, you can correct them. So this is all that I have for you today. I pray that you were blessed by this and possibly encouraged to lean into your ability to nurture and lead. It's an and, it's not an or. You are a nurturer and a leader.